Yo, there is Brick coming at you. We gotta talk.
Thundershowers are very low, and I believe that's an acceptable rating. We have plenty of energy. We only need one end of the runway on the RTLS. I think we got some sound rationale here.
You already saw the title. You have an idea of where this is going, but before I get into that, I gotta tell you a little story. Look, little baby. Before I got into film, I used to want to be a comic book artist. I drew for hours. Obviously, that didn't work out. I had this friend. We'll call him Justin Jones. This guy was amazing. He could draw most people I knew at the time under the table. His line work, his anatomy, just dope. Just had a gift for illustration. This guy's biggest inspiration was Akira Toriyama. For those of you who don't know, Toriyama was the guy who created Dragon Ball. He's got a very distinct style. Justin borrowed from Toriyama's style like pretty heavily, but Justin's like way of drawing was like almost better than Toriyama. Not even kidding. So one day I entered this competition. It's a comic book competition. You get a theme, you submit like 3 comic book style illustrations. If you win, you get a chunk of money and a scholarship. I submit, Justin Jones submits, and like a gaggle of our friends submit. Pretty sure I don't have a chance. Most of us are thinking Jones is gonna win, like for sure, hands down. A month passes, we find out who won, and Jones didn't win. In fact, he placed lower than we all thought he would. It was crazy. There were people who were half as good as he was who placed higher, and it wasn't just in this competition, it was in others as well. How is this guy not getting any love? But then I noticed something. Most of the people who kept winning the competitions weren't necessarily winning because they were the most skilled artists. They just had a different style. They did something new. Although Jones was a better artist than most at the time on the technical side of things, ultimately he had a style that reminded everyone of something we've already seen before. His style wasn't authentic. So what does all this have to do with Tarantino? I'm so glad you asked. I see a lot of films, I read a lot of scripts, and one of the most common things I run into is filmmakers mimicking other filmmakers, especially Tarantino. The extended dialogue scenes, references to pop culture, the beautification of gore, the non-linear storytelling, pretty much like everything you can mimic about Tarantino. Some of them are impressive, some of them are actually quite good, but no matter how good it is, at a certain point as I'm watching, I just kind of lose interest because I've already seen this before. Authenticity doesn't mean that you can't borrow from other artists. We all borrow from each other. It's part of the process. Just don't borrow everything from the same source. Tarantino didn't wake up one day and decide that he was gonna be one of the greatest filmmakers of our generation. He studied and borrowed from other filmmakers. He borrowed from John Woo, David Mamet, Brian De Palma, Roger Corman, like a whole bunch of people. But he didn't imitate them. He took what resonated with him and he made it his own. So if you wanna borrow from your favorite filmmaker, do it. Please do. Yes, do it. But don't borrow so much from them that you lose your own identity. When you mimic from other filmmakers and other creators, you stand in their shadow. And when you stand in another man's shadow, you'll never shine. So no, we don't need another Tarantino. We don't need another Kevin Smith. We don't need another Christopher Nolan. Don't be like Justin Jones. We need something new. We need something authentic. We need something that only you can give us. We need you to give us you. Do your own thing. Well, that's all that I got for you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, subscribe. I also give feedback sessions on films and scripts. If you're interested in more details, I will leave a link in the description section where you can get more info on that. Thank you for watching. Deebert out.
They would make a total of 6 stops on this traverse, collecting samples from large rocks,